Despite the fact that he is a household name as a result of his lengthy and successful political career, Senator Lindsey Graham of the United States of America has never tied the knot. Despite the fact that Graham is a well-known character with a significant career, he has been quite secretive about the reasons he has chosen to stay unmarried. The fact that he just disclosed that his desire to remain single is affected by his own choices and experiences is a fresh revelation. It is important that you maintain your composure as you listen to his honesty. A comment that was recently made by Senator Lindsey Graham dealt with his one-of-a-kind personal dilemma in a way that was both honest and amusing. In addition to his ideas and political convictions, Graham's status as a single man, which is very uncommon among contenders for the presidency, has brought him to the forefront of the media as he campaigns for the nomination of the Republican Party. Lindsey's state of being single. During an interview, Graham said categorically that his status as a single person does not necessarily suggest that he is lacking in any form of personal development. He has been on the edge of getting married in the past, but he is still oblivious to the reasons why he did not end up getting married. This is despite the fact that he has been on the verge of getting married in the past. He concluded by saying, "I am not flawed because I am single." His words shed light on a broader general issue involving personal circumstances and the viewpoints of the general public, which is relevant in the context of high-stakes politics. Graham's statements are being made against the backdrop of heightened scrutiny from the media, as well as the occasional amusing mockery from his colleagues. Not only does he stand out among the other candidates for the president due to the beliefs that he has, but he also stands out due to the fact that his personal life has sparked a broad variety of reactions from others. Indeed, he is 59 years old. During his speech, Graham made a comment that was a reference to the flashy and idealized image that is often associated with the Kennedy administration. As he continued, he said, "If you are looking for Camelot, I am not your individual." He went on to explain that if you are looking for flash and splendor, I am without a doubt the worst choice out of all that is there. Assuming that you are looking for someone who is committed to doing their job, I am certain that I am capable of performing the duties associated with the position of president. Not only has the news that he is no longer in a relationship been a topic of discussion in the media, but it has also led to hilarious jabs being made inside the Senate. On the other hand, Senator Mark Kirk of Illinois was caught on a hot mic making a remark about Graham, in which he referred to him as a bro with no hoe. It is important to note that this statement, which was made in jest, highlights the fact that political banter is sometimes humorous and occasionally disrespectful. Single presidents of the United States. When Graham made a joke about having a rotating first lady if he were elected president, he caused additional headlines to be published, which contributed to the excitement that was already taking place in the media. In the course of an interview with Daily Mail Online, he offered a comical idea. He said that his sister or a close friend would be able to take on the role that is typically held by the First Lady. "I'm going to inform you that I have a sister." Graham said that she would be able to perform the most effectively if it were necessary. "I count quite a few folks among my many friends. It is going to be the first time that we have a woman who rotates." The comment was quickly picked up by news sources and contested by a significant number of people, which forced Graham to clarify that the statement was intended to be a joke. Graham was pushed to explain this. After some time had passed, he clarified to Politico that it was a joke, underlining the fact that his remarks were not meant to be taken literally, but rather to inject some humor into the discussion that was taking on about his personal life, which was being explored. Despite the fact that it is very rare, the prospect of a single president has been documented in the annals of American history. This is despite the fact that it is quite infrequent. James Buchanan was the first president in the history of the United States who did not get married during his time in office. He was the 15th president of the United States, and served from 1857 to 1861. Buchanan had a life of public service and diplomacy, and the fact that he was not married did not prevent him from carrying out his responsibilities as president. Buchanan served from 1857 until 1861. Despite the fact that a single president could be an extraordinary occurrence, it is not entirely out of the question for the highest office in the country to be held by a single guy. This is evident from the conditions that he is in. The fact that Grover Cleveland and Woodrow Wilson both got married while they were serving as president was one of the things that distinguished them from previous Americans who held the post of president. In 1886, when Cleveland was serving his first term as president, he wed Frances Folsom. This year marked the beginning of their marriage. In addition, Cleveland was the 22nd and 24th president of the United States. During Woodrow Wilson's second term as president of the United States, Edith Wilson tied the knot with him in 1915. Woodrow Wilson was the 28th president of the United States. In contrast to the personal and public dynamics that are present in a single president, their marriages, which took place during their different periods as presidents, displayed a unique set of dynamics, especially in light of the fact that Senator Lindsey Graham is vying for the nomination of the Republican Party. A significant amount of attention has been given to the fact that he is a single individual viewpoint. His personal life is inextricably related to a troubled family history, which has played a big influence in shaping his opinions on marriage and family. His viewpoints on marriage and family have been shaped by this. Assumptions regarding the family. When Graham was a student at the University of South Carolina for his undergraduate studies, he was challenged with a number of significant personal challenges. Darlene, his younger sister, was placed in a perilous position when both of his parents passed away unexpectedly after just 15 months of marriage. During the same period of time, both of his parents had left the house. During the time when they were passing away, Graham, who was still in his own developing years, took on a big duty. At the time of their deaths, Darlene had just entered her teenage years, or had just begun her teenage years. Graham's strong sense of duty and loyalty to his family is shown by the fact that he opted to return home from college on weekends in order to take care of his sister and ultimately become her legal guardian. This choice speaks volumes about Graham's commitment to his family. The role that he played in Darlene's life extended much beyond that of a mere parent or caretaker. In order to ensure that she was able to acquire the appropriate medical benefits, it was important for her to successfully traverse the legal and financial responsibilities that were imposed on her. Graham joined the Air Force in 1982, which enabled him to effectively balance his responsibilities as a guardian with his military career. Graham's admission into the Air Force occurred in the year 1982. During this period of his life, he experienced a profound sense of personal sacrifice and commitment to his sister, which had a significant impact on the decisions and priorities that he chose for himself. Graham comes to the realization that his commitments to his family have had an impact on his personal life as he is in the process of considering the reasons for his choice to continue living with his family rather than getting married. Individualized point of view. He went on to explain that I had been close to him in the beginning when I was taking care of my sister. He said that I had been close to him at that time. The candor with which Graham relates his own journey offers light on the challenges he had in striking a balance between his obligations to his family and the pursuit of his own personal connections when he was out on his own. Moreover, he emphasizes his belief that being single should not be seen as a defect by stating, "It's something I really don't know the answer to, other than I think it's okay." And he is expressing his opinion for the first time. In a nutshell, there is absolutely nothing wrong with not being married at the end of the day. There is no need to feel guilty about it. I do not feel that I am a defective person in any manner, despite the fact that I am blessed with a marriage, a healthy family, and children. I believe that I am a strong and capable individual. Graham has a more thorough understanding of both his personal circumstances and the expectations of the public, which is reflected in his perspective on his single status. He takes into account both of these aspects. He emphasizes that there is no constitutional responsibility that compels candidates for the president to be married, since there is no such duty. He says this because there is no such obligation. He makes the point that I do not think there is anything in the Constitution that indicates that those who are not married are not obligated to submit an application for the presidency. Taking this viewpoint into consideration underscores his belief that it is more necessary to focus on the qualifications and character of a candidate than it is to pay attention to the applicant's marital status. It is also possible that some individuals may not vote for me if it is something that causes them to feel uneasy. After that, he continues by adding, "I offer what I offer," which is a reiteration of his resolve to express his qualifications and vision for the president despite the fact that he is worried about his own personal circumstances. A. McCain, John. Senator Lindsey Graham's personal life and the impact that it has had on his political career have become themes of broad fascination and debate among the general public. Lindsey Graham is a member of the United States Senate. In spite of the fact that he is vying for the nomination of the Republican Party, his status as a bachelor has prompted a wide range of responses from his contemporaries as well as voters. Graham's close friend and colleague, Senator John McCain, has presented an honest and, to some degree, amusing review of Graham's romantic history. Graham's sexual history has been analyzed by McCain. Although Graham has dated a number of gorgeous ladies over his life, McCain has made the remark that he has never seemed to be interested in pursuing a serious relationship. This is despite the fact that Graham has dated a lot of women throughout his life. McCain is well known for his candid and, at times, hilarious words because of his reputation. McCain said, with a loud laugh, that he was aware that he had dated a few attractive girls on occasion, but that he had never exhibited any symptoms of being genuinely serious about a relationship. He said this even though he was aware of the fact that he had dates. The fact that McCain made this comment reflects not just a certain level of familiarity and affection for Graham, but also a knowledge of the human aspect of Graham's life, which has been consigned to the background at times. The joke that McCain made regarding Graham's sexual aspirations exemplifies the deeper spirit of camaraderie and support that defines their friendship. McCain proceeded by adding, "I've told Lindsey that he couldn't find anybody that loves him as much as he does." This comment garnered attention to the commitment and unshakable support that exists between the two of them. Despite the fact that it is amusing, this comment reflects the deeper connection and understanding that McCain and Graham share with one another. For the time being, there is a lack of clarity on the manner in which people see a single candidate, and Graham in particular. This shows that attitudes on marital status are shifting throughout time, as seen by trends that have been observed throughout history. As a result of the shift in social norms that have taken place over the course of the last few decades, the number of people who are getting married has decreased in contrast to the generations that came before. The historian Julian Zelizer, who specializes in the history of the presidency, believes that this new trend may result in a much reduced amount of resistance to candidates who do not adhere to normal party lines. Putting it another way, as the perspectives of society toward marriage and personal life become more open-minded, voters may be more prepared to accept politicians who do not adhere to the standard molds. This is because voters are becoming more open-minded. The fact that Graham is a single individual, on the other hand, presents its own unique set of challenges or difficulties. During presidential elections, the spouses of candidates often play a significant role as surrogates. This is because of the power that they have. This contributes to the humanization of the candidate and helps to develop a relationship with people on a scale that is more intimate. Rival candidates like Rand Paul and Hillary Clinton make extensive use of their spouses in order to attract support and boost their image in the public eye. Because Graham does not have a spouse campaigning with him, there is a risk that this aspect of his campaign may be absent. Graham is running for President of the United States. On many occasions, Graham has made it very obvious that he plans to rely on his sister Darlene Graham Nordone to play a significant role in his campaign. It is clear that he is aware of the challenging nature of this circumstance. Throughout Graham's life, Darlene, who is a mother of 2 children and works in vocational rehabilitation in South Carolina, has played a significant role. Additionally, she is a mother. As Graham continued to speak about his sister, he grew agitated and said, "She has been a significant influence on my life throughout the years. In point of fact, she will be a substantial donor to the campaign. She is my most ardent supporter in the world. When I consider all of the things that I am proud of, the one that I am most happy with is how she has developed into the person that she is today." Even though he is not married and does not have any children, Graham emphasizes that he is not alone in his personal life. He says this despite the fact that he does not have any children. Many members of his immediate family have played a significant role in his upbringing and have consistently shown him support throughout his life. He is connected to a huge number of people of his family after the unexpected deaths of their parents. Graham and his younger sister Darlene were taken in by their aunt and uncle in the middle of the 1970s, despite the fact that their parents had passed away. The members of their extended family were there to provide them with essential support and help while they were going through a crucial period in their lives. One's status as a Graham's relationship with his aunt and uncle is one that is characterized by genuine admiration and respect for themselves and their relationship. It is possible to have a family even if you are not married, according to him, and he acknowledges the significant impact that they have had on his life. Graham's commitment to his family is made abundantly evident by the fact that he is making an effort to care for them in the same manner that they had previously cared for him. "I just have my aunt and uncle as members of my family. I do not have any other relatives. In light of the fact that they have been there for me in the past, he maintains that I make an effort to care for them." Graham's specific point of view reflects a more thorough grasp of what constitutes a family and the many support systems that exist. His realization that there are millions of people who are single and who do not need to justify their marital status resonates with this acceptance of varied personalities and situations. There is a growing appreciation of the many personal circumstances that people find themselves in. On the other side, Graham is of the view that the first issue needs to be evaluating whether or not a candidate is capable of carrying out the responsibilities connected with the post. He asserts that they do not need to answer the question, "Why are you single?" Graham is of the opinion that this should be the primary worry. What they need to be able to prove is that you are capable of doing the job, he proceeds to explain. This position reveals that Graham is of the view that being unmarried should not be regarded as a disqualification criterion in a presidential election. Graham is of the opinion that this should not be the case. A bigger cultural shift towards selecting candidates based on their skills and leadership attributes rather than their personal life circumstances is reflected in his emphasis on job performance and credentials. This shift is representative of a larger societal shift. This change is a manifestation of the general trend that is occurring in society. At this point, I would want to reiterate that I do not think there is anything that there could possibly be that would preclude someone from being single. At the end of the day, he asserts that the people of the United States will be the ones to determine whether or not he is qualified to fill the position of president. On the other side, there are a lot of people who think that being single can be a bit of a disadvantage in the complicated world of politics in Washington, particularly when it comes to the dynamics of campaigning and networking, which are two of the most essential aspects that influence the success of a candidate. This is something that is particularly true. In spite of the fact that the value of individuals should never be diminished on the basis of their marital status, the political climate often reveals how a spouse may provide strategic advantages that go beyond the scope of ordinary friendship. Aspects of strategic appeal. There is a long and distinguished history of prominent spouses who have served in the Senate and made significant contributions to their husbands' professional lives. These wives have established themselves as influential figures in the realm of politics. Examples of women who are renowned not just for their own accomplishments, but also for the roles they played in supporting and amplifying the political ambitions of their husbands include Abigail Adams, Dolly Madison, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Nancy Reagan. These women are well known for their contributions to the political arena. Through the use of their expertise, social acumen, and personal connections, they were able to exercise influence in the world of politics. The extent of their activities often extended beyond the normal tasks that they were allocated. It's possible that having a spouse might bring about major advantages in a number of various places and methods. The first thing to note is that they have the potential to become a very significant resource for networking. In the complex and often insular world of politics, it is feasible for a candidate to boost their capacity to form crucial alliances and acquire key endorsements by having a spouse who is talented at making connections, developing relationships, and navigating the social environment. This is because having a spouse who is competent in these areas may help a candidate improve their ability to win key endorsements. This influence that is obtained via networking may be quite helpful when it comes to political campaigns, which are situations in which personal relationships and endorsements may play a significant role in creating support and inspiring individuals. In addition, a spouse has the right to act as a surrogate on the campaign trail, which means that they may represent the candidate at events, meetings, and social gatherings during the course of the campaign. This presence may help in humanizing the candidate, which will provide a complete image that will appeal to voters. There is a potential that this presence may help. With the support and involvement of a spouse, in addition to giving emotional and logistical assistance, there is also the possibility of receiving a tangible advantage. This is due to the fact that the expectations and pressures of a high-profile campaign may be shared, and the spouse can also give help by providing emotional support. The individual's past. However, a candidate who campaigns on their own, such as Senator Lindsey Graham, is faced with the challenge of managing these elements without the additional support of a partner. This presents a significant challenge. It is probable that this single approach will limit the number of personal connections that can be made and the level of prominence that can be achieved via the involvement of a spouse in the campaign. Despite the fact that Graham has never been married, he has sometimes reflected on his former romantic experiences, which has provided him with insights into the ways in which his private history is connected to his public life. It is impossible to argue against this being a reality. Graham acknowledged a key occurrence from his past in an interview that took place in 2015 with the Herald. This event gives some background information on his current condition and provides some context for it. A significant love relationship was established between Graham and a woman during the time that he was serving as a lawyer in the United States Air Force at a base in Germany between the years 1984 and 1988. This particular relationship was the one that he considered to be the one that brought him the closest he had ever been to getting married. More specifically, Sylvia was employed by Lufthansa as a flight attendant throughout the period of time that is under scrutiny. The courtship that took place between them over the course of a year ultimately resulted in the formation of their partnership. Nevertheless, in spite of the intense emotional connection that existed between them, the relationship did not wind up being successful in the end. A lot of the practical challenges that contributed to the final downfall of the relationship are brought to light by Graham's portrayal of the affair, which shines light on these challenges. In addition to the hardship of their situation, the fact that Sylvia's mother was an elderly lady added another layer of complexity to the situation. Challenges in everyday life. Graham eventually came to the understanding that his ambitions for his life and career in South Carolina did not align with Sylvia's circumstances and future goals. As a consequence, Graham was forced to make a decision that was not only difficult but also necessary. Although this contact was momentous, it did not result in marriage, and Graham has seldom recognized it in greater detail than this brief acknowledgement affords. Despite the fact that this encounter was significant, it did not result in marriage. In the course of his chat with Politico, Graham offered a more in-depth explanation of his position as an individual who stands alone. He said that he does not consider his personal circumstances to be a deficit, despite the fact that marriage and family are obviously advantages. He also stated that he does not value his family. When it comes down to it, Graham claimed that there is nothing intrinsically wrong with the decision to not get married at the end of the day. I do not feel that I am a defective person in any manner. despite the fact that I am blessed with a marriage, a healthy family, and children. I believe that I am a strong and capable individual. Through the use of this remark, he is displaying his commitment to addressing the misconceptions that society has toward those who are not married. Through this, he is drawing attention to the fact that one's marital status does not have any bearing on one's personal value or efficacy. This specific aspect of Graham's life has been the subject of an opinion expressed by Senator John McCain, who is a close friend of Graham's, and has expressed his ideas in a manner that is both humorous and insightful. McCain has made the observation that while Graham has dated a number of stunning women, he has never seen him actively pursue a relationship with the goal of giving it his whole attention. McCain has made this remark. During the conversation, McCain made the following remark. I am aware that he has dated a few attractive women on occasion, but I have never witnessed him develop a serious relationship with any of them. This statement exemplifies the casual but respectful understanding that McCain had of Graham's romantic life. In addition, it lends credence to the idea that Graham's personal choices have always been a component of his wider narrative, rather than an issue that has been defining him from the beginning. To what extent do you agree or disagree with Lindsey Graham's decision to forego getting married in favor of not getting married? Please feel free to share your comments with us by using the area given below. Could you kindly let us know whether or not you found this video to be helpful? Remember to subscribe to the channel, share the video, and leave a like if you like it. It is essential that you do not forget to do any of these things. The fact that you took the time to watch this is very much appreciated, and I hope to see you in the following movies. I'm going to miss you.